car, still seeking that first win. The 20-year-old driver out of Owensboro, Kentucky, still holds high that second-place finish at Pocono in 1988 on that 2.5-mile track up there in Pennsylvania. And, of course, he won the Winston Open down at Charlotte a year back. Got himself a few poles. Bad break today. We're under caution. Let's take a moment right now for the U.S. Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Award. Here's Lieutenant Colonel Ronald Hall.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, folks. This is Lieutenant Colonel Hall presenting another Air Force Reserve Commander's Performance Award. The Commander's Performance Award is a very special award. It recognizes those individuals who have achieved success through the principles of leadership and teamwork. With me today to receive the award is Mr. Larry McReynolds. Larry is the crew chief for the Texaco Haviland Ford team. And we recognize your abilities and your teamwork and all that it takes to win on the NASCAR circuit. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Hall. I've seen this award given quite frequently on TV, and it's quite a surprise, a thrill, and an honor to receive it. I'd like to accept it on behalf of myself as well as the entire Robert Yates racing team.
Larry McReynolds, one of the great guys in this game. What a job he's done with the Allison team. Let's go right to Dr. Dick Berger.
Well, Michael Waltrip, how frightening a ride was that?
I didn't even know I was on fire until they come running up to me trying to put me out, and the fire went right out. It wasn't any big deal.
Inboard fire extinguisher?
Yeah, I was going to pull it, but they told me the fire went out pretty quickly. So it's a shame, you know, for the third race in a row, we had this Pennzoil Pontiac really running well, and we've just been dealt some bad cards. That wasn't anybody's fault. Something just broke. It snapped inside the motor. You know, you can't blame that on anything. It's just kind of racing luck, I guess.
This guy's day will come, I guarantee it.
Bad day for Mark Comquist, too, the engine builder for that team. Put a lot of effort in. They've worked so hard on their motor program, but you just saw about $35,000 up in smoke.
Ken, sometimes when you step up performance like we've seen this team do all year long, the way you step up performance is abuse things a little bit more. Turn the motor harder, you pay that price, and sometimes it happens.
We're getting set for a restart. This time by, they'll turn them loose. Second caution of the day just over after Michael Waltrip lost that engine.
Ken, this is the first opportunity we've had in a long time on a caution situation with a pit stop to make those major changes. People want to put rubbers and springs and do this. We'll have to see if anybody helped their car enough to get back in contention.
As they restart, Gant will be in front. Elliott will be in second. Davey Allison third. Ricky Rudd in fourth. Darrell Waltrip fifth. Alan Kowicki in sixth. It'll be Morgan Shepherd in seventh. Hut Strickland is eighth. Terry Labonte in ninth as they settle down and get ready to ramble once again at Richmond. I think we're seeing the light come back on that pace car. We may take another lap. They doubled them up, ready to go, and now they're going to take another lap before they turn them loose. They may want to check this track after that meltdown on the car number 30 of Michael Waltrip.
Ken, what it calls that a lot of times, Elmo Langley in that pace car will see something on the track, and he'll make that call from the car. We need one more to get the stuff off the track, and I see Elmo motioned it was okay that time, and they give him one to go now.
That was fun to watch that Legends race at Charlotte and see Elmo Langley, who a lot of us grew up watching on short track, like Manassas and places like that, go out there and put that wheel under Cale Yarborough. Even Cale was laughing about it when it was over.
Well, I tell you, he was racing them for the money.
Little quarter-mile track. Good old days of racing. Real racing. Get right down there and muscle them and change those fenders every lap. Ready for this start. We're at 265, 266 when they take green.
Again, it's got Bill and Davey right behind them, and they both want to see if they can get that car back behind them. They can't show too much strength for them.
Dale Jarrett would like to take a lap back here on the bottom, too, if he possibly could right now. He's running 13th. Things getting a little better for the Joe Gibbs team. Dave Marcus is number 71, is on pit road. It cost him another lap. 82 winner here in this race. On the break, Gant came off the fourth turn beautifully. But look at Jarrett on the inside, trying to stay up there. I don't think it's to be. Here's the 33 of Gant down the back straightaway. But Jarrett staying right with him. That's a good show. As Dale Jarrett, that winner at Michigan, and that dramatic finish last June, or rather last July.
A few feet right here, and a caution flag is worth 3/4 of a mile. So if he can just stay in front of him, and which now here they go back around him on the outside. But it's so critical to try to get that lap back.
Davey Allison closing in from third. The number 28. Mexico Haviland car looking very stout. You know, for all of this race being somewhat dominated by that number 11 car, this is a heck of a race. This has been fun to watch all day.
Bill's taking a look down under Harry. He got down there before and couldn't do anything with him, and he's going to stick it down there one more time to see if he can get up under Gant.
2:69 this time by. Elliott comes down to the inside, and Harry Gant hangs him high. Here they go into turn one. Elliott on the bottom of the racetrack. The old demon from Dawsonville's got it wound. That time he pulled it out. Bill Elliott back in first place. Harry Gant is in second. Outside on the back straightaway, maintaining third and putting a lap on Jared is Davey Allison. Meanwhile, lying fourth on the field, it's Ricky Rudd in the number 5 just behind Davey. Darrell Waltrip, Alan Kowicki, 6 cars now remain in the lead lap at 270.
Gant's not giving up. You know, when Bill passed him before, he got away. Here's Gant driving right back up on the rear bumper, right in the middle of the corner.
This is where Gant is so strong. He can just get back at him. Just gets right down there. You talk about true grit. Gant's it.
Ken, that's what I was talking about before. Gant's the type guy. Elliott got up there, made the move on him. You could almost see going in one. Gant roll out of the throttle, let Bill back in there, but he's not giving up. He might concede a little bit, but he's not going to give up the fact that he can come back around that 11 car.
For all of you who played that Gillette halfway game, Elliott was there at halfway. We'll give you a winner before we get off the air today. Thank you for participating. Hope you're enjoying the race today here on TBS. Bill Elliott certainly is, and I think Harry Gant's having a very good time.
I would say so. It's nice when you're running that well. It really makes it enjoyable in that race car.
Well, in the pits, the last round of pit stop, Bill Elliott's team made a couple of adjustments. One was to the race car. They put a bit of wedge in it. The other, incredibly, was to a NASCAR official's radio. They fixed it. Now, that sounds like a pretty kindly thing to do, but what they fixed was the button so the NASCAR official could talk to the tower. That way they can argue their case if something comes down the road a little while later.
Davey Allison slipping into second. Davey Allison to second. Gant is back to third. Davey Allison showing his strength now. And that was a very quick move just down to the inside and through, so there wasn't any long tussle between the two to let Elliott get away.
Ken, we just heard Robert Yates say they were going to make changes on every stop. They're still changing that car, still changing. They're trying to get it where they can race with the leaders, and they must have improved a little bit because he's around Gant now.
Ford, Oldsmobile, Chevy, Ford, and Chevrolet. Let's take a look again at how they're running at the present time. There you see Bill Elliott in the lead, looking for that 36 Winston Cup win. Behind him, Davey Allison pulled himself with the bootstraps right into second spot. And then Harry Gant back to third for the moment. This is 277 complete. Looking further back on the field, you see the lap car here. Dale Jarrett, Joe Gibbs' team, 14th. Behind him, now here is your 4th place car. Ricky Rudd, car number 5. Engine prepared by Waddell Wilson. That team has changed some. And there's Alan Kowicki, number 7. He's running 5th. Kowicki in that 5th spot. Then you see the number 21, which is Morgan Shepherd. Had that great 2nd place finish this year, and he has picked up a spot. He's showing in 7th now, lap down. 1 lap down. There is the car, last car in the lead lap. That is Darrell Waltrip. He is running in 6th position as they come down the main straightaway. 6 cars in the lead lap as we approach 280 complete. There's the 94 car. That's Terry Labonte. He is running 8th over on in the field, a lap down, and that's Sunoco car. Behind him would be Sterling Marlin, the 22. There's a lap car in there, which is the Schrader car, number 25. You see Schrader, and the Hamilton, number 66. I mean 68. Hamilton is running 22nd on the field. Running pretty well today, too, is Bobby Hamilton.
Yep.
Now there's Sterling Marlin's number 22. He's being shown ninth place on the field. And you see Ernie Irvan back some. And Rusty Wallace, who is not having any fun now. You were talking about those that have fun and don't have fun. He's in 23rd spot. And I understand there's a tremendous amount of pressure on that team. The Penske team is not exactly in disarray, but they're really feeling the pressure that they need to perform better.
I would think that pressure is self-imposed because they don't want anything but the best.
You see the number 4, Ernie Irvan. This is not his day for sure. He was down early. He's being shown a couple of laps, 3 laps back, and in 16th position. There you see Hut Strickland. He is running 10th on the field at the present time. Look at this battle. Here's 33 and 28 at it again. Gant just doesn't give up. Little lean there.
Just get in the corner a little bit wide. Make it. Now Davey's going to drive back up under him. He got a little wide getting in.
Your turn, my turn. Gant pulls off by a couple of car lengths. The ethic of Gant is, and here's another good battle. 7 and 5 are at it. Well, we'll get back to that story in a moment about Harry Gant and how he feels about work. The kind of guy you like. Back up to the front, and there you see car number 11, Bill Elliott in front.
Again, Bill's driving away. While he's doing this, we'll go to commercial break and be back for the action.
Monday and Tuesday night, it's sky-high suspense with 3 action-packed disaster epics. Mayday. Burt Lancaster, Jacqueline Bisset, and George Kennedy, the original Airport.
Possible emergency.
Charlton Heston, Karen Black.
Oh my God, help us!
Airport 75. And the suspense concludes with Jack Lemmon and James Stewart, Airport 77. It all begins at 8:05 Eastern Monday night on TBS.
Racing. I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different. Speed's different. Everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
The crowning achievement of TNT's MGM month. MGM, When the Lion Roars, a spectacular 3-part series revealing the untold stories of a Hollywood empire, begins March 22nd only on TNT.
When what you eat and drink upsets your stomach, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol.
When you work for a doctor during cold season, you're going to get a cold. But I'm ready. With Advil Cold and Sinus. It's tough on colds, like Advil is on pain.
Advil Cold and Sinus. Advanced formula for the cold season.
With 290 laps complete, this is the battle. Davey Allison falling back. Alan Kowicki is the man on the move. He's on the outside, and he's going to 3rd spot. Alan Kowicki picks it up a notch. Davey Allison falling to 4th. That's at lap 291 as they came about. As Davey Allison finds himself another spot back. A bit of a surprise as Alan Kowicki continues to show some real racing strength out here. Let's go to the STP Pit Center. Rick Benjamin is standing by for a Goodyear Eagle update.
Again, today's Winston Cup action is not the only Major League Racing action going on. The NHRA Series is running in Houston, Texas, the Slick 50 Nationals. The finals are later on today, but let's take a look at how qualifying for the Slick 50 Nationals went yesterday. In Top Fuel qualifying yesterday, the #1 position went to Michael Brotherton. We're going to show you his run. He sets a new national record in Top Fuel at 4.884 seconds with the speed of 290.32 miles an hour. And Funny Car, veteran John Force in the left lane here, took the top spot for today's finals. Force at 5.184 seconds, a speed of 285.08. In Pro Stock, near the camera, Bruce Allen in his Super Shops car, another national record. He qualifies first, 7.164 their lapse time, the speed of 191.73 for Allen. But the day yesterday was not without incident at Houston's drag strip that's hosting the Slick 50 Nationals. Funny Car driver Stan Sipos, we're going to see him in a moment in the near lane, the Apex car. Sipos gets out of shape very early in this run, goes to the center line, drifts toward the middle, and he overcorrected getting the left wall before the body comes off, the drag chutes come out. He nearly got over the fence. Sipos was able to stop the car at the finish traps and get out safely. The finals of the NHRA Slick 50 Nationals today in Houston, and that's it for now from the SDP Pit Communications Center.
Thank you very much, Rick. Do you ever want to be a drag racer?
Yeah, I went out there with John Force when he was running the Funny Cars to do one of the winter shows, and he told me to climb in that thing, and that's the only piece of equipment I never wanted to climb in. I don't think I could handle it.
You're watching Dick Trickle. He's been running well. He's been shown in 12th, and all of a sudden he is off the pace. Slowing down, Dick Trickle out of Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin, as you see the Napa standings after 275 of 400 laps here today.
And while we were talking, Ken, Darrell Waltrip got around Ricky Rudd, put him in 4th place, so he's moving, 5th place. He's moving up now.
17 car into 5th. Darrell Waltrip on the move. There you see Waltrip's number 17. That is now 5th. Rudd is back in 6th, and we have about 6 cars in the lead lap. They're showing Sterling Marlin a lap down in 7th. Morgan Shepherd 8th. Then in 9th is Terry Labonte. 10th is Hut Strickland. 11th is Dale Earnhardt. .298 complete. We're about 3/4 of the distance. Average speed stays at 106.132. Still looking for that record as we follow Davey Allison here, getting around number 88, Jeff Fuller. Here is Dick Berggren.
Well, Ken, Davey Allison is dropping off the pace. The problem is not a particularly serious one. He's picked up a push, but they sure would like to have a pit stop to make an adjustment on that car to put him back up there.
Ken, as this is going on, we're watching Davey right here. Darrell Waltrip, who just passed Ricky Rudd 2 laps earlier, is really closing in. We'll probably be able to see Darrell come in right behind him here. He's about 50 yards behind him, and it won't take but a couple of laps for him to close in the way Davey's fading right now.
Front 4 cars are all in a straightaway at the present time. If you got to the back end of this Richmond International Raceway, go to 3, you'd have car number 11 leading, and then you'd be back here coming out of turn 2 with the 17 and the 5 car in 5th and 6th spot. Ricky Rudd is currently bringing that Chevrolet around, staying in the top 6. Do you like to race at Richmond, Virginia, Ricky Rudd?
You know, you seem to like any racetrack wherever you got the car hooked up well, but I guess the past racing results here have been pretty good for me, and anytime you come to a racetrack and consistently have good success, you always look forward to going back, and that's the way it is at Richmond. And plus it's close to my home. I still have a home here about 100 miles away, so closest thing to a home track, so always a little extra incentive and extra fun when I come to Richmond.
Ricky Rudd won here in '84. To duplicate it today. There you see him, and there's Sterling Marlin diving down. They have Sterling as a lap down to him, showing that 7th spot. What started well back today. Bill Elliott leads. 303 laps are complete as we set up for the finish here today at Richmond.
The Pontiac Excitement 400 is brought to you by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
Alka-Seltzer Plus goes to the Arctic Circle, where the toughest colds live.
The cold is miserable in this environment. Alka-Seltzer Plus takes care of the aches, the runny nose. It does the job.
Alka-Seltzer Plus fights tough winter colds with a combination of ingredients you can't get anywhere else.
Alka-Seltzer Plus has done exactly what I've needed it to do. If I don't go to work, the kids go hungry.
Alka-Seltzer Plus, tough medicine for tough winter colds. And for your tough sinus symptoms, try Alka-Seltzer Plus sinus allergy medicine.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following: Goodyear, #1 in racing and makers of Goodyear Eagles, the most successful line of high-performance tires in the world. And by Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Motor Oil, the high-quality motor oil for year-round engine protection. Long live your car with Phillips 66 Trop Arctic. And by the Gillette Company, maker of Right Guard antiperspirant and deodorant for maximum protection against wetness and odor. And Sensor Shaving System, the revolutionary razor that adjusts to the contours of your face. And by the Air Force Reserve.
For most people in the world, the intense power of the F-16 is thousands of feet above. For you, it's a phone call away. The Air Force Reserve, a great way to serve.
311 laps are complete. Bill Elliott stays out in front as we follow him around this 3/4 mile. Sold out Richmond International Raceway. Going for 2 in a row. Going for his first win at Richmond is Elliott in the Junior Johnson car number 11. The average speed is well up. They can turn about 130 in the straightaways. The average speed for the race after 2 cautions is 106.432. That's a pretty good mark over the 105.3 belongs to Earnhardt. Now there you see the leader, Bill Elliott. But at the moment, the story is the man behind him, Harry Gant at number 33. The Bandit has been closing ground, Neil Bonnet.
I tell you, Harry has really got that thing going out there on that side. Watch how far out he runs on the outside. He gets out there, gets a good bite off the corner, and he's closing on Bill every lap.
Yeah, but hold the phone. Right behind number 33, also closing ground, is car number 7. Kowicki is quick. Look at him. He has cut that distance in half between himself and car number 33, Harry Gant.
The 3 of these cars, if Bill can't pick up the pace a little bit, these 3 cars will be together in probably 5 or 6 laps. They've been closing that fast.
Now the other 3 cars in the lead lap. Davey Allison lies 4th, Darrell Waltrip 5th, Ricky Rudd in 6th. 3:14 on the board. Can Elliott hang on and win his first Richmond and win 2 back-to-back? Look at this battle coming down through.
There was Waltrip, Darrell Waltrip on the inside of Davey Allison.
Here's Waltrip coming around 3 and 4, getting down to the bottom of the racetrack. Alan Kowicki getting around the lap car of Smith. Let's go to Randy Pembert.
Paul Andrews. Paul, you guys were nearly a lap down when that last caution came out for Michael Waltrip. Now you're in the hunt. What did you guys do to the car?
Well, he's been adjusting on the car a little bit, both on the last 2 pit stops, trying to get the car better. We were real good in the first race, a little bit off in the middle. Now we're back good where we need to be. We're going to have a good pit stop on this next, hopefully the next caution. So we'll be good for the end of the race.
What about that next pit stop? Any chance of taking on 2 tires to grab the lead? Two tires?
I didn't quite understand you. I don't know. We just need a good pit stop. Try to get the car out at first.
Look at this, 17 and 28, side by side. Fourth place, Darrell Waltrip, Davey Allison. What a scramble here. Down to the inside. Darrell Waltrip in the 17. Now Davey Allison nips him off. Here's a Ford Chevy battle for you.
That was Rudd we saw right behind him. That's the other position they're dealing with right there. Darrell tried 3 or 4 laps on the inside. Never could quite get by. He'll sit back and cool her down and try it again in a minute.
Putting a lap on Dave Marcus, number 71, the 82 winner of this event. Do you really lay back till about 3/4 of the race before you kick it in, Darrell Waltrip?
So in a lot of cases, yeah. I like to kind of look over the rest of the field before I decide what I got to do. And besides that, if I can stay back and stay out of trouble and the competition thins out a little bit, then that makes it a little bit easier at the end too. I guess the other thing about it is I've raced these races so long that I kind of feel like I know what the most important part of the race is, and that's the last 100 miles or the last 100 laps or whatever. So I always like to think that I've got a little bit left. I'm like a runner, a marathoner or a sprinter or whatever. I like to think I got that little bit of extra kick left at the end that maybe no one's expecting. And, you know, if you race people all day long and all of a sudden you look in your mirror and you see somebody you haven't raced all day long, it kind of worries you.
Do you think Davey Allison's worried? Concerned, perhaps, but not worried.
Well, I tell you what, they got their hands full. Both of them. Darrell's got to make the move, and Davey's got to hold him back. A while ago, Ken, we were talking about Harry again. He said his car was running a little bit warm on the oil temperature. This is something that's been added to it that he doesn't need. Look at the grill area. A big hot dog wrapper or whatever it is, right dead center in the radiator. And he was already having a little temperature problem. This is really going to add to it.
They're also concerned down here in the Harry Gant pit a few laps ago about the alternator. It was fluctuating. He had 14 volts, and Harry was turning the rear end cooler on and off. And I know Neil Bonnet, that is not a good sign.
No, you know, that thing runs off the battery in that thing, and they just tell him to cut it off a lap or two, turn it back on. You cannot run at this racetrack without that rear end cooler. If that alternator's all the way out, it's going to be hard for him to make it. We got 70 or 80 laps to go yet, and he can't make it with a problem like that.
Bill Elliott stays first, Harry Gant second, Alan Kawicki third, and look at this. Fourth place one more time. Darrell Waltrip on the inside, Davey Allison on the outside. This at lap 324. They'll pit again with what, about 25 to go?
Looks like with 20 to 25 laps to go, all the leaders will have to put at least fuel in their cars.
6 cars remain in the lead lap. Marlin is 7th, a lap down. Terry Labonte is in 8th, Morgan Shepherd 9th, Hut Strickland 10th, Dale Earnhardt back there in 11th. For 4th spot, Davey Allison outside. In the Ford. The Chevy down on the bottom, number 17. Richmond International Raceway is where it's happening. And where it will happen, first week of September. Hope you're planning to be here. We'll be back again with TBS and our coverage. And don't forget, too, that there's some great races upcoming on the Winston Cup schedule. Next week, they'll be in Atlanta. Then it's on to Darlington, March the 29th. We'll be with you at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600 Memorial Weekend.
Ken, here we are. This is second place. We told Gant was closing in. Now look here, Kawicki's all over Gant for second place.
Elliott continuing to hold his own up in front. Here's Kawicki, ever closer. Be a great day for Alan Kawicki. Picked up a sponsor midway through last year, Neil, and he's been really looking to get a strong finish. Wouldn't it be wonderful if he put it together here?
Ken, he's always run well at this racetrack since it's been redesigned. He's sat on the pole so many times, had a lot of bad luck. It looks like it's coming to him here at the end of the race.
Interval first to third, Neil. How about 1 6/10 seconds? And how about Kawicki dropping to the inside in number 7 and making a Ford Oldsmobile show out of second place? Fading high is that 33.
Gant's in his old Gant lane out there, way out of everybody's way. He doesn't mind. He'll sail her out there, and he'll give you that inside if you want to try it.
He seems to find a special breeze out there. Hangs that sail out and floats it out of those corners.
See the rear end of Kawicki's car? That's what we've been talking about all day. When they give you that inside line, it makes you work the rear end of that car harder. When you stand in the throttle, it wants to spin. And we saw him try to cut it down under, and he broke the rear loose up off the corner.
Let's take a look at the telemetry out of the Mark Martin car number 6, running in 18th as we leave you for a moment with 330 laps complete. Just right along with Mark Martin. We'll see you back right after this.
James Bond weekend continues tonight. Take it to the limit with Roger Moore and boldly go where no spy has gone before. Moonraker, 7 Eastern tonight on TBS.
The new Pontiac SSEI. It offers you uncompromised luxury, supercharged power, and unsurpassed security at a price many thousands less than the big sedans from BMW and Lexus. The new Pontiac SSEI. A higher level of excitement.
This is the crew of America Cubed. 16 brave sailors who sweated and trained for the America's Cup and got here because they earned it. And one who got here because he drinks the right beer. You could be here, riding on America Cubed during an actual Cup race in San Diego. It's a great time on a fast boat from Coors Light, the beer that won't weigh you down. To win the ride of your life, look for details at this sweepstakes display. America Cubed, the thrill of victory, and you could be there.
First Contact wrote the book on cold medicine, and now a new chapter, Contact Day and Night. Day caplets for non-drowsy cold relief. Night caplets to relieve your symptoms to let you rest. New Contact Day and Night, a whole new chapter in cold relief.
The NBA on TNT. 4 great teams, 2 nights back to back. Oh, yeah! Tuesday, the Lakers and Knicks at 8. Wednesday, the Celtics and Bulls at 8. The NBA on TNT. Bigger than life.
Disregard that concern about that last stop for fuel under green. A caution. Out of turn number 4. It was Brett Bodine looping the green and white colors of the Bernstein racing team. And it brings out the 3rd caution of the day. So everybody has come on to pit road, fueled up, and we're ready to go home here.
That's how close it was. They came off the track, 1st and 2nd, and Gant almost beat him out of the pits, but they stayed in 2nd place.
22-2 on the 11 car and 22-2-6 on the Gant car on pit road.
That's about as close as they can cut it.
And there you see them. Let's take a look at the aftermath of what happened up here in turn 4 to bring out this caution.
The 26 car spun in front of these guys, and they were right across traffic. It didn't look like he hit anything. I don't know what kind of problem he had, but there was a lot of smoke and a lot of rubber flying off the car as he turned around.
A lot of lucky people, too. They didn't get collected on that one. 334 is where we are at. It was 333 when they threw the caution for the 3rd time today. We've had a total of 12 laps. This would bring us up to 14, 15 yellow laps today, so it's marginal as to whether or not we're going to get a record. 105.3, Earnhardt 91 is the mark that they're seeking, and it's been Elliott, the man challenging for it, most of the day. Chad Little in the Trop Arctic, number 66. How's it going for you out there right now? Let's try to get Chad Little in car number 66 another time. Chad, Ken Squire here at TBS Control. Do you read us?
Yeah, Ken, I hear you.
How's it going for you out there today?
This has been a long day, I tell you. When the car's not handling right, it's a handful out here, and you know, we're right in the middle of loose coming off, and we can't really seem to get it right. We've tried every caution now to try to straighten it out, and you know, we just missed it by a little bit today, but the guys in the pits are working hard, and
you're running in 25th position right now. How physically do you feel as we get down to the end of this race?
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike Keith,
Okay, there's the number 66. Chad, as we get down to the end of this, Chad Little, Ken Squire again here. How you physically feel after running this 3/4 mile track for over 300 laps?
I feel pretty good. Dave Marcus, I was following him for a long time, and he's blowing a lot of smoke, so I was getting a lot of smoke in my car, but other than that, I mean, I feel fine. There's no problem here with that. It's just frustrating for me and the guys at Phillips when the car's not handling right. It makes a long day out of it.
Chad, can anybody beat Elliott today?
Suck it up. Be on your toes here on the get-go.
All right, there's his crew talking to him as they get ready on the get-go. So we're down to it, ready for a restart this time by.
Ken, we just found out the 26 car broke another axle. Brett Bodine, who broke one earlier, just broke it coming off this corner, and that's why it spun. So they must have a lot of camber in that rear end, and the axles just won't stay in it.
A lot of torque that's just tearing them to pieces when they come off these corners. He tried to light it up, and instead it spun out from underneath him, and he broke the rear end again. Here you see the story. There's Bill Elliott out in front. There's Harry Gant, number 33, in second spot. And here comes old DW, number 17. Darrell Waltrip lies right there in third. Ricky Rudd in fourth. Kowicki is fifth. Davey Allison sixth. Restart. 3:37 complete as they touch him off.
There's both of Junior Johnson's cars, one on the inside trying to get a lap back and one leading the race.
Any team orders out there with Junior? Let one of them get back up on the lead lap, you think, Neil?
I promise the team orders was don't touch. Don't touch each other.
He had a little touchdown there at Daytona. That was I bet that was a long moment on Monday back up there in Ingle Hollow. Here you see Elliott drawing away big time as he goes into turns 1 and 2. Out the back of the Trop Arctic cars, they shuffle through traffic.
There's Elliott leading with Sterling Marlin second, who's a lap down. And here comes Gant, going to have to get around Sterling before he gets to him.
Now, oh, we got one in the wall. It's Mark Martin lying the number 6 up in the wall in turns 3 and 4. And from the back of the Valvoline Ford, that's where it comes to rest. Car number 6 ground right into the wall. They're racing back to the line. Here comes Sterling Marlin trying to make his lap up. Down to the inside. Marlin fighting to make that lap up. Elliott trying to hold him down. So there's your answer about team strategy. You stay down a lap, Sterling.
I don't know if Junior could get on the radio quick enough that time.
Bad break for car number 6, Mark Martin.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ken, that thing, it looked like it cut a tire down or something. He just knocked the wall down. You could hear it way up here. I'm glad to see him moving around because you would think on a 3/4 mile racetrack it's not that bad a lick, but he hit a ton.
That's what got you.
Yep.
Charlotte, when you broke your hip and your leg so badly. I mean, it didn't look like it had gone in that hard, and that was a terrible thing for you.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Ken, it was in a Valvoline car like this. They're great people, but they sure don't need those things stuck on the wall like that. While Mark's getting out of this car right here, we'll see if we can go to commercial, and we'll be back with more of the Richmond race.
It's nothing serious. It only wakes me up a couple of times a week. It really doesn't affect me. I avoid foods that are fried or spicy. I can deal with it. I just take antacids.
If you have frequent heartburn symptoms like acid indigestion or burning in the chest, talk to your doctor. These may be signs of a serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
It's only a heartburn. I should learn to live with it. Right?
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
This is the crew of America Cubed. 16 brave sailors who sweated and trained for the America's Cup and got here because they earned it. And one who got here because he drinks the right beer. You could be here, riding on America Cubed during an actual Cup race in San Diego. It's a great time on a fast boat from Coors Light, the beer that won't weigh you down. To win the ride of your life, look for details at this sweepstakes display. America Cubed, the thrill of victory, and you could be there. Al Unser Jr. knows the corkscrew at Laguna Seca with his eyes closed. Fortunate, considering it's a blind turn. Mark Martin knows if he lets someone cross his wake at 200 miles per hour, his car may be doing the lambada. And Joe Amato knows that at 296 miles per hour, he must pull his chute at precisely the right moment to keep from becoming an astronaut. Apparently, it is what you know.
Dear Dave, how could I have known it would be even better the second time? Of course I speak of Wendy's chicken cordon bleu sandwich. I am in love with the whole chicken breast filet, ham, Swiss, Grey Poupon, Dijon mustard and mayonnaise, all as you say on a toasted Kaiser bun. It was very different, very special. Au revoir, mon chéri.
Wow. Wendy's chicken cordon bleu. There's nothing else like it, anywhere.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway, Richmond, Virginia. The Pontiac Excitement 400 still under caution at the 345 lap mark as Bill Bill Elliott continues to wear out the field. We're going to make somebody very happy now. The Gillette Halfway Challenge is complete today, and the brand new Chevrolet Lumina Z34 goes to Dean Helms of Lee Summit, Missouri. Dean made the phone call early today and was called back and was able to identify Bill Elliott as the leader halfway through today's Pontiac Excitement 400. So Dean gets the automobile. You can enter now for the next race. Just give us a call, 1-900-436-7000, and you'll be in the field for the next Gillette Halfway Challenge. Ken Squire?
Thank you. Rick, we're going to tell you about when Neil Bonnet got a chance at a new car one time, too. We can talk a little bit more about these competitions between the major manufacturers. Let's, for the moment, take a look at this replay out here from the in-car camera. As we're coming out, take a look. That's Rick Mass, number 1, right there. We're riding with Mark Martin.
Went up the back straightaway. Through there, going down the back straightaway. Starting to enter the corner. For whatever the reason, they got together. Boy, he's going for a ride now. And do not adjust your sets. That is not the problem. It's that concrete. Boy, it ate that race car up.
What is for whatever reason?
I don't know. When they got in the corner, it looked like they got together. It looked like a little tap from the rear, be it the guy got in too deep behind him, or maybe somebody stacked up in front of Mark. You can never see the whole picture what happened.
We were talking earlier today about what happens with these manufacturers when they begin to turn the wick up a little. Now, what about it, Neil Bonnet? When you were a driver, did they ever get into this deal? Like, did the General Motors guys tell you, or Ford guys?
I tell you what, when I was driving for Ford at the time, we were running out of parts and pieces. We didn't have any blocks for the cars. We were racing engine blocks that had sleeves in them. And we won, I think it was Atlanta, and the manufacturer was there. And we were in Victory Lane, and the guy says, boy, I'm going to give you a new Thunderbird. I said, if you'll give me some blocks and I'll quit blowing up, I'll buy my own Thunderbirds. I needed parts.
Getting set for more action here at Richmond International Raceway. We'll be back with you to present it in just a moment.
Things are different. The all-new Pontiac Grand Am proves it. Things are better, because this Grand Am gives you a more powerful 16-valve engine standard than either Accord or Camry. They charge thousands more for this much power. In fact, Consumers Digest named the Grand Am a Best Buy. Pontiac's new Grand Am, a new kind of excitement.
Today, performance cars come in a variety of designs, sizes, and even prices. So do Goodyear Eagles, the world's most successful line of performance tires. There are all-season Goodyear Eagles, new ultra-performance Goodyear Eagles. There are Goodyear Eagles for the classic and for the contemporary. No matter what performance car you own, there's a Goodyear Eagle priced for you. It's another reason we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
When the job is tough, you need the best. And when you need the best, you reach for Channel Lock. For the power. The precision. For just plain counting on, there's only one. Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock tools. Look for this trademark.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Remaining. When we're back with you, 50 laps down to the finish of this one. For the moment, it's Bill Elliott's race to win. Harry Gant trying to take it away. Darrell Waltrip is in second. Look at this battle back in fourth place. Here's Alan Kowicki in the 7 car and the 5 of Ricky Rudd. Rudd's had a tremendous run. He's finished the top 5 in 7 of the last 9 races here at Richmond. And right now you see that war that he continues to be in as he closes back up on Alan Kowicki. Davey Allison in that mix.
Ken, on that set of pit stops, Davey Allison made an extra stop and started in there. I don't know if they made a chassis adjustment or whatever, but he did make an extra stop.
Let's go to Dr. Dick Berger.
Well, on that last yellow flag, Sterling Marlin had an opportunity to get back on the lead lap if only his teammate Bill Elliott had allowed him to do so. But he didn't. And after the yellow flag pit stops were all done and over with, crew chief Mike Beam came over to his teammate, crew chief Tim Brewer, and said, "What happened?" Brewer just sort of shrugged his shoulders. Then you saw the two cars go side by side lap after lap until Junior Johnson got on the radio and said to Sterling Marlin, get back there. Well, these guys share a lot of technology, a lot of information, but when it comes to winning the race, you just saw what happens.
Trying to get that lap back is Sterling Marlin. Sterling trying to get right back on the inside of number 11 and not getting much distance there.
And look who's rolling up into the shot now, Mr. Gant, trying to get around Sterling waiting to make a run on Bill.
Ooh! The 28 car and the 5 car just bouncing down the main straightaway off each other here, and around goes Davey Allison.
He cleared him on that. He got by. Kowicki's putting a lot of heat up here in the front on Waltrip. There's a lot of jockeying for position right now.
Waltrip is in 3rd. Kowicki is in 4th. Davey Allison 5th. Key Rudd maintaining 6th. Out back for the moment. In the lead lap. 3:55 complete. Here's Kowicki dropping to the inside on the 17. This for 3rd.
Got a good run on him going down in the first turn here. Getting up off 2 is where it's tough to do it, but looks like he's going to be able to clear him.
He's run so well here, and here's Alan Kowicki taking over in 3rd spot. What do you like about Richmond, Alan?
I like the layout of it. I like the old track, but I like the new track even better. And we just always seem to handle well here and run competitively. If there's any one track on the circuit that would owe me one, though, this would be the place.
How do you figure?
Well, we've run good so many times here. We've won poles, but we never won a race. We've been close, and I had a guy blow an engine in front of me, take me out when I had a half-lap lead, had a lap car take me out one time. Just a number of things that have kept us out of victory lane, but we always keep coming back, and one of these times it's going to be our turn, hopefully this weekend.
It's making it look a lot better right now. Alan Kowicki pulling into that 3rd spot. Remember in 87 when he set on the pole here, big surprise. And here is Bobby Hamilton's car, which has lost an engine. He is slowing down and coming in, but they're not putting a caution flag out. There was some smoke, but not enough. They don't feel there's any oil down. So Bobby Hamilton is going to be retiring his country time number 68 that was in 22nd position. Out of it for today, Hamilton.
We can see a little stream of oil out the back of it, but as soon as he had a problem, he jumped over here on the apron. And they tell you at drivers meeting all the time to get off the track as quick as possible, and he was able to do that.
You'd think this was a war for the lead. It's among teammates. That's Sterling Marlin. He's in 7th place, number 22. But he wants to get back in the lead lap. His teammate, that's quote, teammate, quote, won't have any part of it. Bill Elliott stays right there and doesn't give him an inch.
Yeah, if he can get back in, there's enough time left in this lap. We've got 40 laps to go. If he can get around Bill and get another caution, he's got a chance to move way up and possibly get back up to Bill again.
So, it's Bill Elliott in 1st. Harry Gant still lurks in 2nd spot. Kowicki is on a run. He's up to 3rd. Waltrip is in 4th. This one's far from over. Stay with us.
Bodine, Jethro Bodine, a master of disguise.
Didn't know it was me, did you?
Who always gets the girl.
Yeah.
And drives a really cool car.
Yes, sir. That's what you call a first-class double-knot spy car.
It's 3 days of Jethro Bodine, Double Knot Spy. 6:05 Eastern, Wednesday through Friday on TBS.
Hey, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Alka-Seltzer Plus goes to the Arctic Circle, where the toughest colds live.
The cold is miserable in this environment. Alka-Seltzer Plus takes care of the aches, the runny nose. It does the job.
Alka-Seltzer Plus fights tough winter colds with a combination of ingredients you can't get anywhere else.
Alka-Seltzer Plus has done exactly what I've needed it to do. If I don't go to work, the kids go hungry.
Alka-Seltzer Plus, tough medicine for tough winter colds. And for your tough sinus symptoms, try Alka-Seltzer Plus Sinus Allergy Medicine.
I like these the best.
You got it.
I always tell my customers, be sure to take your credit card receipts. I should have listened to myself. Citibank for me. The other day I got a call from Citibank. Hello? It seems somebody charged some pretty fancy stuff on my card number. Citibank suspected fraud, but they said I wouldn't be responsible for the charges. I've seen Citibank look out for my customers. Seems they're also looking out for me.
Not just Visa, Citibank Visa.
With 365 complete and 35 to go, now they're showing 66. Bill Elliott is in front. Alan Kowicki has just taken over in second. Harry Gant is in third. Davey Allison fourth. And it's Darrell Waltrip in fifth. Rounding out the guys in the top lap, Ricky Rudd completes it. 6 people there. Sterling Marlin stays right on the heels of Bill Elliott, trying to make up his lap. Interval first to second is 2 1/10 seconds.
Ken, while you're saying lap, I can't help but look at this crowd and tell you there's 65,000 people in it. There's 60,000 seats. They're selling lap seats, and it's a very friendly crowd we have here.
First time. Looks like car number 6 is getting ready to come back on. And that will mean that Mark Martin will get back into it. You see him coming down pit road right there in that shot. That is Mark Martin rolling back out again with the car number 6. The Valvoline Ford trying another time after it slapped the wall up here in 4 real hard. You can see damage done, but he's ready to try it one more time in a battered car number 6. Bill Elliott stays in first, Kowicki in second, Gant third. Kowicki's the guy, and now it's Ford 1 and 2. And the Oldsmobile slips back into third spot.
Ken, we were looking a while ago. Davey Allison went around Waltrip, but now Waltrip is inching his way back up to Davey.
This is for fourth. Davey Allison in fourth, the 17, Waltrip in fifth. Lap 370, 30 to go.
Boy, we've seen this all day long. Somebody with the ability to run a guy down. But then the hard part is to get up under him and pass him. It seems like if you hold your line, it's almost impossible for him to get by there.
Complete rundown for you folks once again on how the field is laid out here in this Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway. Remember, we'll be back with you at Charlotte, North Carolina. The Coca-Cola 600 coming up in May. We'll be here for night action in September. That is a fantastic show, and there's going to be an additional 6,000, 8,000 seats down here in 1 and 2. Not a bad seat in the house.
What you're telling me, the people that are sitting in laps are going to have their own place next time we're here.
Yeah, it won't be nearly as much fun as it was this year. Came late. 28, Davey Allison staying just in front of car number 17. So once again, we're seeing the Fords beginning to show their muscle at the end of this race. Neil, here they are back to first and second. It's Kowicki, and there's that 7th place car number 22. Here's Dick Berger.
Used to be, Ken, tires were the story of the race. So often it seemed we were down here on pit road telling you about tires that blistered, tires that went flat, tires that went on cars that didn't match up right. But since Goodyear has come out with this new Eagle radial tire, we don't see any more of that. These tires just don't go flat. They're all the same size. And what that's really done is it's put the race back in the hands of the drivers and the crews, and it's taken it out of the hands of chance, luck, and circumstance.
But there's still about 25 laps left for chance, luck, and circumstance here today. They'll have 375 in the book when they come by this time. And how many times have you gone into the last 25 laps and the world was your oyster? The next thing you knew, you were just an old clam.
Yeah, don't remind me of those days, but they sure were fun. And look at this shot here, Ken. It was an interesting thing happening. There's the 11 car with the 22 behind it who's the lap down. But Kowicki in the 7 car is closing in. I don't know if Bill knows how much he has to play with in this last 25 laps, but Kowicki is definitely closing in on him.
There you see Alan Kowicki at number 7. Remember, that's the 2nd place, and that's the interval, first to second. Let's take our last commercial break right now, and then, providing there's no more cautions, we'll follow the race right to the checkers.
Water. The RCA Home Theater has a VHP picture tube which makes it seem like you're really there. And you can connect your Laserdisc, stereo, VCR, or camcorder to it without being a rocket scientist. And with the RCA Home Theater, you can get rid of your other remotes, too. because it comes with Master Touch, the universal remote. Another way RCA is changing entertainment again.
Wouldn't it be great if she finally came over for a beer?
Nice place.
And you offered her a Keystone, the premium beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. But she said,
I only drink dry beer.
oh, wouldn't it be great if Keystone made a dry beer?
We do.
Introducing Keystone Dry. Dry brewed and cold filtered for a great new bottled beer taste in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
Hey, Mike, hand me my channel lock pliers.
Tommy, hand me that plier over there with the blue handles. What kind of pliers is that? These are channel lock tone and groove pliers. My dad uses them on his race car, too.
For the tough jobs and the small jobs, reach for Channel Lock, the handiest plier of them all.
Hey guys, anybody seen the channel lock pliers?
Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock pliers. Look for this trademark.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denerex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway, Richmond, Virginia. The Pontiac Excitement 400 winding down. Let's take a look at who has led here today. We've talked about how Ford has dominated the season to date. They've done the same thing today. Bill Elliott, the first leader for 123 laps, then Davey Allison. Then Elliott again. Harry Gant able to sneak in there for about 47 laps, and then back to Bill Elliott. So really, other than Harry Gant's opportunity to lead for GM for a time in the middle of the race, it's been an all Ford afternoon, and certainly it's been Bill Elliott's afternoon. Gentlemen?
It's been Elliott's afternoon up to the moment, with the exception of those little intervals. But look out, because you see it right here. There is Elliott, number 11, leading, going down into the lap into turn number 1. Then you see that number 7 car, lap car in between them. And the story is right there. Sterling Marlin still a lap down. Still in that 7th position, trying to make the lap up. And Alan Kowicki just trying to make up time and run down Bill Elliott for the finish of this one. We're showing 385 complete.
Ken, right here, Kowicki has got to clear the 22 car. Right here is the only place on the racetrack he gives him up any ground. He seems to lose a little bit here, but watch him go down this back straight into 3. He can really get in 3 good and closes up a lot of ground on him each lap. 3 and 4, he's real strong. That's where he's able to make time on him. There's Sterling Marlin pulling over to the inside to give him racing room.
Elliott likes that high line that Gant enjoyed earlier. And Kowicki, who suffered grievous failure here, came in here one time, came out of Daytona, hadn't made it, came here and didn't make it, and came back and set on the pole. Here's Alan Kowicki looking down the inside on Sterling Marlin. Just about desperation time here. Sterling Marlin still trying to make up that lap and looking for something to happen to put him back in the hunt for the overall lead. What happens when you and Elliott are running side by side at the end of the race, Sterling?
I don't know. The Levin's been around a long time, so I guess we are. Maxwell House jumped there last year with us, and it's really sack a car, two-car team, because old Levin's been aware a long time. But both cars there in the shop side by side, and we got our boys do our thing, and they do their thing.
Now, what happens at the end of the race, though, and you guys are running side by side, you and the 11 car? Who's supposed to give way? What happens?
I don't know. Junior never told us yet, but I'm going to do my best to win.
Well, you saw what happened right there, and there's Junior looking on as Sterling was passed on the outside, and now Kowicki is driving for the lead. Alan Kowicki pulls to the inside on Bill Elliott. Not there.
Well, I tell you, for Sterling just to move over and get out of the way, that's a lot of class right there. He's going to leave it up to these two guys right here to win the race.
Battle for supremacy. Elliott in first, Alan Kowicki in second. At Rockingham a week ago, and it was over. It was all Elliott. Now today, Alan Kowicki is back at Rockingham. Elliott said maybe this was just beginner's luck with Junior. He's going to need some extra luck here today as Alan Kowicki has him in the sights.
Well, I'll tell you, Ken, he goes down in this corner here. Bill goes high. And Alan Kowicki always goes low in this corner. See if Bill changes line. No, Bill's staying out there where he's working good. Right here, right off the corner here, Kowicki's car gives up just a little bit, but he can really make it up on the other end going in the straightaway. 3 and 4 is Kowicki's strong end of the racetrack.
Stay right with you to the end of this event as Alan Kowicki moves down to the bottom another time and can't quite get up into that hole that was provided as Bill Elliott still tries the high side. Showing 392 on the board. Elliott looking for win number 36. After 10 years with his brothers, moves on to the Junior Johnson team. And it looks like this is going to be a magnificent combination. They could take over third in the Winston Cup standings today. Alan Kowicki trying to take it all. Harry Gant is about 2.5, 3 seconds back in third. I talked before. There goes Kowicki back to the inside, not getting through. What should the strategy be here?
I tell you, all you can do is keep the heat on. You see Alan having to work the steering wheel up off the corner. He's a little bit loose, it looks like, up off the corner, and he's having to feed the throttle enough that he just can stay with Bill, but it's going to be hard to get under him and drive past. Right here, he usually does it, Kent.
It's all right here, folks. This is for it. $690,000 lion's share. One of them almost has their paw on it. Elliott Kowicki, first and second. Gant back a few seconds, then Davey Allison fourth, Darrell Waltrip fifth, Ricky Rudd sixth, all in the lead lap, and nobody's sitting down on this one. 65,000 people are on their feet, and here he comes again. Kowicki down to the inside. He draws up on the rear quarter panel, but can't get through.
Again, with 5 laps to go, you don't have to worry about saving the tires. You can throw them at the junkyard. This time to win the race.
Down we come. Here comes Kowicki. Now, Elliott is such a good driver, such a smooth driver, and always such a clean driver.
Yeah, he gets up under him, Bill will give him racing room, and right here is where he's been able to do it.
Here comes Kowicki another time. Down the back straightaway, headed for turn 3.
That's really the best count he's had. If he can stay there, he's got a shot up in the middle of the corner. He's going to have to get beside him on one of these straightaways to be able to hold him off. Here he is, completely beside him now.
Alan Kowicki inching his way up. A step at a time.
Lap car.
Marcus 71 on the inside. Gets by him. Now there's a chance that Elliott had to use him as a blocker and didn't do it.
Left him racing room.
Lap count, you see it there. Alan Kowicki trying again, down to the inside.
This is the best count he's had on him going in this corner. This is where he's been able to go a little bit. This is the best count he's had on him coming off this corner. 3 and hangs out.
Headed for 3. And again, Elliott on the outside draws away. Here comes Kowicki back in the main straightaway. Made it up that time.
White flag in right now.
1 lap to go. This is for everything. It's Bill Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia on the outside. Wisconsin's Alan Kowicki on the inside. Side by side down the back straightaway. Even as they go to turn 3. Kowicki there. Elliott pulls a little ahead on the outside. Driving for the finish. Here comes Kowicki up on the bottom of the racetrack. Kowicki going for all of it. They touch and across the line. It's Elliott. Bill Elliott has done it by about a foot to a foot and a half. Incredible finish. Alan Kowicki comes home in second spot. Harry Gant will be third. And look at the tire mark that developed in the last lap on car number 11.
On the lap, they can strip all, last lap, you can strip all the paint off. Nobody cares.
What a remarkable finish. And we'll be back to meet the champions at Richmond International Raceway here on TBS right after these messages.
Racing, I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different, everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
For age-old problems like these, Goodyear introduces a brand new solution like this. Goodyear Wrangler GSA.
Goodyear Wrangler GSA has a unique triple tread zone that gives you breakthrough, all-surface, all-season traction. Mile after mile, year after year. So if you own one of these, you need these. Goodyear Wrangler GSA. Then you'll know why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
When it comes to making batteries that last, somebody's in high gear. Today's Duracell batteries can even outperform the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the Comfort Top.
That last lap was so good it deserves another look, and we'll get to it in a moment. But right now, let's go to the Channel Lock Winner's Circle interview. Dr. Dick Berggren is standing by.
Well, they say you weren't aggressive enough to win a lot of short track races, but I'm looking at this tire mark in the door. Tell us about the last lap.
Well, I'll tell you, I knew Kowicki was coming, and I knew he was going to give it everything he had. And I knew I had to get down and get in the throttle coming out of turn 4, or he was going to beat me. He just about did it. He just run out of real estate, and I run out of real estate, and we got together, but I was still able to beat him back to the line. I wasn't going to back off. I didn't care what I did.
Now, you were so strong all day. Did you get weak at the end, or did Kowicki get strong?
Well, Kowicki got strong, and we got a little weak. The car got a little bit tight getting in the corner. And then Sterling run me pretty hard there for a while, and I just pretty much used my tires up there. And, like I said, I saw Kowicki coming, and I was preparing myself for it because I knew he was going to be there, and I knew he was going to run me hard.
And you won the Unocal bonus, richest short track win in the history of short track racing. Is the money important or just winning?
Just winning. You know, this Budweiser Amoco Ford, I can't say enough about these guys. You know, Tim Brewer and all the guys, I really didn't know what I was getting into when I come to this Junior Johnson organization, but I can't say enough good about him.
Okay, right now we're going to go to Randy Pemberman. He is with Alan Kowicki, who finished second.
We just touched a little bit at the start-finish line, but it was a good, clean race. And, actually, I got to commend Sterling, too. He was his teammate, and he could have really tried to screw me around. And he didn't. It was just good, clean racing, and, it worked out good for them. But I'm really disappointed to not win by a couple inches there. That would have meant just an awful lot.
Alan, I know you're disappointed at this point in time, but your team showed a whole lot today. You dialed that car in, and it got better all day long.
Yeah, they did. I said we got a lot of our problems out of the way last year, and we're going to come back and be a consistent team, and we will. We had a good run at Daytona. We would have been right in there at Rockingham last week, and they certainly knew we were there today. But, maybe I should be happy with second, but we'll be back.
Up to 7th in points, Alan Kowicki. But take a look at how Bill Elliott won $272,000. Remember, he started on the pole. And with the Unocal $190,000 bonus at stake. Coming to the line by 18 inches. This is the last lap, just going into it now. Neil, this
going down this corner, like we was talking about, this was the best count he had all day, even coming up off the corner. They're going to, Bill said his car had a little bit of push, which on the outside, that's hard to deal with. Kowicki goes in here, gets completely under him, and this time you both just stomp the throttle. You don't care if you make it to the line. They're in the gas, they come off, the back end brakes loose on Kowicki, banks off of him, but Elliott pulls by a few inches and wins.
And he wins $272,700. The last man to take that bonus was Rusty Wallace a year ago. And the Unocal money today is collected by Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson, and he's won for the second straight week. And we'll tell you more of the story right after this.
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
I'll take the special.
And you should too. The monthly specials at True Value Hardware stores. Like this 37-piece ratcheting screwdriver bit and socket set from Allenite for just $9.88. Make repairs yourself and save. In March, get it for just $9.88 while supplies last. It's just one of the terrific specials at True Value, the neighborhood hardware stores with national buying power.
I'll take the special.
Wouldn't it be great if your blind date Rachel turned out to be Rachel Hunter, the international model, and you had a romantic dinner at the beach with beer, really great beer, like Keystone Light, and things went really well. So you had Rachel build you a beach house, because it turned out that Rachel was a great little homemaker. Cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer tasting a can.
So what's left to do?
Gonna shingle in the roof.
I'll do that in the morning.
Wouldn't that be great?
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
We've added the leading cough suppressant to the proven cold relief of Alka-Seltzer Plus. So now you can relieve your cold and cough together. Introducing Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough Medicine. 2 kinds of relief from only 1 medicine.
When what you eat and drink gives your stomach a surprise, you want a medicine that works directly on your stomach. Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol.
The Pontiac Excitement 400 has been brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. By Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. By Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline. And by Coors Light. The silver bullet is the right beer now.
65,000 people here, and half of them just settling back into their seats after this incredible finish. And you see the sight from the Pennzoil Motor Oil platform camera high above the 3/4 mile track, where we have seen a remarkable event dominated today by Bill Elliott, leading 348 laps, but still it was as good an event as you could ever hope to see. And part of the reason, one half of that great finish, the car owner of that winning machine by 18 inches, Junior Johnson, is standing by with Dick Bergman.
And Junior, I'm wondering, you had both of your cars side by side, one trying to make up his lap. You call Sterling back. Why?
Well, he was a lap down. He could not, get back and challenge for the lead. And all he was going to do is come around there, him and Bill side by side. And anything can happen when they run side by side. And got involved in a wreck, sort of like happened at Daytona. If he'd have been in the same lap with him, I'd have left him there. But there was no sense of him racing Bill and him a lap down.
Too early to think championship?
We don't anticipate nothing. That's what we're going after, though. We have a team, a driver, and all the ingredients to go after the championship.
And they sure went after the race today, and they dominated it, winning it at the end.
Let's go to the STP Pit Center now and Rick Benjamin.
Well, Ken, the action is over here at the Richmond International Raceway, and indeed an excellent finish, a very exciting race between Bill Elliott and Alan Kulwicki at the end. Let's update you on how the True Value Hard Charger Award broke down at the end of this race. You mentioned that Bill Elliott dominated today. He dominates the Hard Charger standings, racking up more than 1,400 points today. Of course, True Value pays off over the first 5 spots all afternoon long. Harry Gant picking up 391 points for second. Davey Allison, the second highest point getter today, 768 markers, because he led a fair portion of the race as well. Alan Kulwicki with his late drive, and Sterling Marlin round out the top 5. All of this builds all season long. There's a $50,000 payoff at the end of the Winston Cup campaign in November for the True Value Hard Charger Award.
104.362 miles per hour, just under the 105.397 record of Dale Earnhardt a year ago. And that record stays intact. The big money today, $290,000, belongs to Bill Elliott. We'll take a look at the final standings in today's race. Some comments from the folks that were covering the event for you right after these messages.
Next Sunday on Award Theater, James Bond Weekend continues with Sean Connery off to the Orient.
I'll be sorry to go.
On a slippery mission that sends him into the arms of danger.
I must say, you have a lot of energy for a dead man, Mr. Bond.
And into matrimony.
The honeymoon's over. You can watch it all on TV.
You only live twice. 10:35 Eastern next Sunday morning on TBS.
Looks great. But come on, I mean, you could have gotten yourself another BMW or a Lexus.
I suppose. But why? This had everything I wanted. Power, great handling, ABS,
yeah, but
airbag, leather, everything. I couldn't see spending 10, 20,000 more for what?
Who makes it?
Pontiac. It's the new Bonneville.
Nice.
You're about to see how Goodyear is changing all-season driving right before your eyes. Introducing AquaTread, only from Goodyear. AquaTread's advanced design channels water out of your way for dependable all-season traction, especially in the rain when you may need it most. AquaTread, the newest reason why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
There were 4 caution periods today, total of 22 laps. Only 3 drivers retired from the event. Means, Michael Waltrip, and Hamilton dropping out of it. Let's get some final thoughts here today and go down on pit road for just a moment. Randy Pemberton and Dr. Dick are down there today giving us the information. Let's go to Dick Berggren first.
Well, Ken, we can talk a lot about cylinder heads and Fords versus Chevrolets and great drivers, but the fact of the matter is it takes all of it. It takes a great team effort. And I would say for sure Bill Elliott and this Budweiser Ford team of Junior Johnson have served notice this year that they will be very, very tough.
Let's see if we can find Randy Pemberton down there in the action. Randy?
Well, you can't talk about this General Motors Ford battle, and one thing's for sure, not only were the wheels spinning out here for the General Motors cars today, they had some good finishes. The 17 car was in the top 5, but what the bottom line is going to be, the wheels are going to be turning. They have to be able to deal with these Fords in the upcoming races to chase down that Winston Cup championship.
Yeah, just a week away is Atlanta. They've got some work to do, haven't they?
Well, I tell you, Atlanta's a big high-powered racetrack, and Fords have run well in the past, even in the past years when they wasn't dominant, so they've got their work ahead of them.
Yeah, well, 2 tough tracks, Atlanta and Darlington back-to-back. Let's go down to Rick Benjamin at the STP Pit Center.
Well, gentlemen, as we've heard, certainly everyone's going to have some work to do if they're going to get up and be competitive against the Junior Johnson team and Bill Elliott in the saddle. But I think a call needs to go out to Harry Gant today. There was a time there when Harry looked as though he definitely had the strongest car. That team really came together late last year, and they seem to be off to an excellent start this year. As we see by checking the Winston Cup point standings, Gant has moved to 2nd after today's action. Gentlemen?
They talk about the right combination in this sport, and Bill Elliott says, I know we've used that word a lot in the past, but we have a situation up in Ingle Hollow where I can tell Tim Brewer what the car needs, and he can provide it. We complement each other. They certainly did here today in the running of the Pontiac Excitement 400. And consider this. Of the 1,092 laps run in the 3 races thus far this season, Ford has dominated, leading 988. Bill Elliott comes home victorious by 18 inches with a record payoff of over $290,000. For Rick Benjamin, Dick Berggren, Randy Pemberton, and Neil Bonnet, I'm Ken Squire. So long from Richmond.
Monday and Tuesday night, it's sky-high suspense with 3 great action-packed disaster epics: Airport, Airport 75, and Airport 77. It all begins at 8:05 Eastern Monday night on TBS. Weekend continues tonight. Take it to the limit with Roger Moore and boldly go where no spy has gone before. Moonraker. 7 Eastern tonight on TBS.
Hey, did you bring any money? Nope. Did you bring the map? Nope. What did you bring?
The tunes, man. Southern rock.
It's Southern Rock. Over 2 hours of guitar wailing jams by bands like the Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner. With Southern Rock, you get all the classics from the 70s to the 90s, together for the first time.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
With Southern Rock, you get 3 cassettes or 2 CDs, a double dose of Dixie's finest. Here's how to order.
To order your Southern Rock, call 1-800-257-1234 or send $19.99 for cassettes, $24.99 for CDs, plus $4 shipping to Southern Rock, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia.
Did you know that you can send beautiful flowers like these anytime, anywhere to anyone by calling one phone number? The number is 1-800-FLOWERS because now more than 10,000 of America's finest florists have the same telephone number, 1-800-FLOWERS. All you need is a telephone and a major credit card. Just pick up the phone and call 1-800-FLOWERS, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, toll free. 1-800-FLOWERS. We're the 24-hour worldwide florist.
Cold War's long gone. Berlin Wall's history. Kind of sad, really.
Why is that?
Well, I always wanted to be a top secret agent. Code name Mozart. You know, making it through Checkpoint Charlie by the skin of my teeth.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all over now.
I know, but at least I can read about the good old days in my Encyclopedia Britannica. Check out this section on intelligence and counterintelligence.
That's not all you can read about in the new Encyclopedia Britannica.
Somehow I knew sooner or later you'd turn this into a commercial.
Well, actually...
It's okay. I know. How else can someone find out how to get a set? Forget secret agent. Look at these great animals. Maybe I'll be a veterinarian. Open wide. You gonna pop on that 800 number?
I thought we might, yes.
Right on cue.
To find out how you can own the new Encyclopedia Britannica, just call this number and we'll send you this free booklet.
Don't forget the gift.
And just for previewing Britannica in your home, we'll give you this 3-volume desk reference set.
I already have it.
I was talking to the people at home.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Monday and Tuesday night, it's sky-high suspense with 3 great action-packed disaster epics. Airport, Airport 75, and Airport 77. It all begins at 8:05 Eastern Monday night on Ride with the Throttle Man, swim with sea lions of the Galapagos, and blast off from the jungle. Your ticket to adventure is waiting on Explorer. 9:30 Eastern tonight on TBS.
There are 28 teams in the NFL, over 1,200 players, some good, some better, yet they all share the same dream, to make it to the game that will determine the entire season, to be here at the Metrodome on January the 26th. Take it from someone who's been on the field and in the booth. Only one magazine captures all the drama, all the excitement that leads to football's final conflict, the Sporting News. And now you can get the Sporting News at a super price. Each week you get reports on every pro team, strategy, matchups, incredible stats, plus complete off-season coverage and all the college action too. It's a hard-hitting look at football you just can't get anywhere else. And not just football, you get the inside story on basketball, hockey, and baseball too. So to follow all of the drama, all of the excitement, all of the battles that lead to that certain Sunday in January, you need the Sporting News.
If sit-ups aren't for you, watch closely. The tummy sizer method helps you firm the upper and lower abdominals with an isometric exercise that's so simple, you can do it standing, sitting, or even reclining. Workouts take just minutes. Just extend and contract your stomach muscles, then relax. The tummy sizer helps you perform the exercise correctly, even if you can't do a single sit-up.
That's why I love the tummy sizer method. It's the way I like to work out.
You see them everywhere, every day.
They're watching us, spying on us, making sure that we behave.
Now, they're taking charge. TBS presents a week of terrifying tales that will make your skin crawl. Day of the Animals, The Savage Bees, Empire of the Ants, tarantulas, the uncanny.
They will kill every living thing in sight.
It's a week of killer creatures. 105 Eastern beginning Monday on TBS. A master of disguise.
Didn't know it was me, did you?
Who always gets the girl. And drives a really cool car.
Yes, sir. That's what you call a first-class double-knot spy car.
It's 3 days of Jethro Bodine, Double Knot Spy. 6:05 Eastern, Wednesday through Friday on TBS.
Hey, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
I cried a tear. You wiped it dry.
She's won 4 Grammys.
I was confused.
15 gold albums.
You cleared my mind.
Anne Murray.
Will be shadows in the moonlight.
Heartland Music presents Anne Murray in a 2-album collection of her biggest and best-loved hits.
Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Just another woman in love, a kid out of school.
Anne brings so much warmth and honesty to every song she sings.
And oh, I just fall in love again. Just one touch and then it happens every time. Oh,
All the Anne Murray songs you really love on 2 beautiful albums.
no, I don't think time is gonna heal this broken heart. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey.
This special Anne Murray collection is not in stores. Please stay tuned to order.
So high that I could almost see eternity. You needed me.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-257-1234 to save all COD charges and pay only $12.98 for records or cassettes or $16.98 for compact discs, plus $3 shipping. Use your credit card or send check or money order to Anne Murray, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia. Remember, save COD charges by sending check or money order or use your credit card.
Next Sunday on Award Theater, James Bond Weekend continues with Sean Connery off to the Orient.
I'll be sorry to go.
On a slippery mission that sends him into the arms of danger.
I must say, you have a lot of energy for a dead man, Mr. Bond.
And into matrimony.
The honeymoon's over. You can watch it all on TV.
You only live twice. 10:35 Eastern next Sunday morning on TBS.
Now on video cassette, it's The Wizard of Oz.
There's no place like home.
Join Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow. Get $2 off the fully animated Wizard of Oz wherever you buy Klondike ice cream bars.
Yosemite Sam! It's Yosemite Sam! Yosemite! Yeah, Yosemite Sam! The roughest, toughest He-Man, stuffest hombre has ever crossed the Rio Grande. And I ain't no mamby-pamby. Now all of you skunks clear out of here!
My
weren't there a lot of skunks in here?
Now, be there any living varmint as aims to try to tame me? Well, be there!
I aims to.
Watching the gulls in flight. He's earning his way through Santa Barbara High School by working as an automobile mechanic. Like any boy at the time, he's tinkered with model airplanes, but he has no special interest in aviation. Jack Northrop has no idea that his genius as an aircraft designer is about to show itself. When it does, his reputation as champion of pure flight, searching for forms with high lift and low drag, will cause science to name this prehistoric flying reptile after Jack. They will call it Quetzalcoatlus northropi. Quetzalcoatl was the winged serpent god of the Aztecs, and Jack Northrop is to become the champion of the flying wing. But it will be 30 years before his first real flying wing will take to the air. In 1910, without knowing why, he watches the way the gulls can glide, with their wings almost motionless, making the most subtle adjustments to cope with changing air currents. And he watches the way they can change their wing surfaces, using them to increase lift, change direction, and move around in the air in exactly the way they choose. This is a seed. It's 4 or 5 inches across with a single wing formed of delicate membrane. It comes from Indonesia and New Guinea, a distant relative of the cucumber family, and it can fly. At the same time Jack Northrop was watching the gulls, aircraft designers in Europe were watching the stable flight of this seed and using the shape of its wings as inspiration for their own. The seed's wing shape was copied exactly by the Austrian designer Igo Ettrick in 1906. By then, the theory of the flying wing had been around for quite a while. Alphonse Pénaud's drawings had appeared in 1876, and Clement Adler's fanciful Avion 1 of 1897 failed to fly. The flying wing would have to wait. In early 1916, the Lockheed brothers arrived at Santa Barbara. In San Francisco, they built a seaplane, largely by trial and error. They'd come to Santa Barbara to take advantage of the tourist trade on the waterfront, using the seaplane for barnstorming. Jack Northrop, now out of school, offered them his services as an engineer on their new flying boat.
I had a little experience as a garage mechanic, and I had worked for a year as a draftsman for an architect, and I'd worked for my father, who was in the building business, and this sort of qualified me to design airplanes, you can understand.
For the first time, Jack's design genius had a chance to show itself. But not without interruption. America entered World War I. Jack was drafted to the infantry, but was soon furloughed back to Lockheed to work on construction of flying boats as the war continued. The airplane was making its impact on warfare. Most of the designs of that era were biplanes, their two wings supported by masses of struts and wires, all of which created drag and reduced their flying efficiency. When the war ended, Jack had his first chance to experiment and innovate. The Lockheed S1 was streamlined. Its lower wings swiveled to increase lift, and the wings folded for transportation. But the S1 was expensive when you could buy a cheap war surplus Curtiss Jenny. Lockheed went broke, and Jack had to wait for a job with the Douglas factory in Santa Monica.
So the morning I was supposed to report there, I went in with fear and trembling, my knees knocking together, I can assure you. And the first job they gave me was the designing of the fairing on this particular World Cruiser airplane. This had a steel tube type of fuselage, and I was to design the fairing for this fuselage. However, my work in Lockheed had been largely in wood and monocoque wood, and so I didn't know a doggone thing about putting a fairing on a steel tube fuselage airplane, and I was absolutely petrified. Along came noon, and I managed to gobble a little lunch, and this made me so ill that I went home. Next morning, I approached the job again, not knowing whether I was going to last through the morning or not, but fortunately somebody else had been started on the fairing, and I got a job designing aluminum gas tanks, and this I knew how to do, and everything was lovely.
By the 1920s, tailless aircraft were in vogue in Europe. These are the work of French designer René Arnoux. But the man who was to take this form of flight further than anyone else was still working on conventional airplanes. Jack's reputation was growing and spreading around the aircraft industry. In San Diego, the Ryan Company was building a mail plane, the M1. They were having trouble getting it right. Jack redesigned the wing, reducing its weight by 200 pounds. That same type of wing design was used on the Ryan NYP, the Spirit of St. Louis, and carried Charles Lindbergh across the Atlantic, from New York to Paris. But Jack Northrop's contribution to record-breaking aviation was only just beginning.
I had a little drafting board at home, and in the latter part of 1926, I laid out a nice, clean little high-wing monoplane design.
He took the design to Alan Lockheed, who was impressed.
Well, the whole objective was to build as clean an airplane as we could possibly conceive in those days. The average airplane had struts or wires or fuselage forms that weren't as smooth, as streamlined, as low drag as possible, and it was pretty obvious, it seemed to me, that a full cantilever wing neatly faired to the fuselage on a perfectly streamlined fuselage would take less power to do a job than some other types.
The design made use of Jack's growing expertise in stressed skin plywood construction. It was very strong, with very low drag. It was called the Lockheed Vega, and it took only 6 months from drawings to completion. It made its first flight on July 4th, 1927. Later versions could cruise over 135 miles per hour with a top speed of 185. And in various forms, it created an amazing string of records. Wiley Post called his Vega Winnie Mae and flew it solo around the world. Wearing this strange pressure suit, he created an unofficial altitude record of 55,000 feet. Amelia Earhart in her Vega became the first woman to fly the Atlantic. But although Jack Northrop was making a name for himself as an innovator in the design of conventional aircraft, he was preoccupied with another idea. Jack was ready to take his first big step down the road to the flying wing.
We will return to The Wing Will Fly on Discovery Sunday. Theirs is a world of mystery and honor, a brotherhood of courage marked by mental discipline and physical stamina. The French Foreign Legion on World of Valor, Friday at 9 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
It was a time to crown new champions, a time to cheer the underdog, to applaud those who rose above the crowd.
year that will not be forgotten.
The Minnesota Twins are baseball's world champions.
Now you can relive the excitement of 1991 all in one amazing video, The Year in Sports. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated, the best way to capture all the emotion and drama of sports every week. With your free video, you'll line up with the finest as they take their best shots.
Another left hook. And a right. Will George go down?
You'll be right there with them when the game is on the line.
Spot. In the air.
You'll know how it feels. This remarkable video won't be available in stores, so call this toll-free number now and enjoy exclusive interviews with some of the champions and get a fantastic free look at the big events, great plays, and bright stars of 1991. This is a collector's video you don't want to miss. It's the best of the best. All the excitement of this fabulous sports year are yours to keep and enjoy again and again.
Grant Hill slam dunk.
If you call now, you'll not only get your free video, you'll also receive free SI's 1992 Sports Almanac. This great book will keep you up to date on all the fascinating facts, stats, and stars. And full-color photos brighten the big events of the year. It's fun, and it's free. Plus, you'll save 50% off the cover price of SI. 30 issues for only $1.49 an issue. And you may use your credit card. Plus, you get the big Olympics preview and the famous swimsuit issue. Call now to subscribe or renew. Get your free video, almanac, and save on SI. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. With your exclusive video, you can enjoy all the thrills of the past year. And you won't miss any of the excitement yet to come in Sports Illustrated. Call now.
I'm really excited about it. It's a fun job. And it's a mental challenge.
Wings, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
Time magazine called him the master funny man of the age. Now, for the first time ever, the legendary king of comedy and music is captured on video in the best of Victor Borge.
Pardon me, madam, are you laying eggs?
Recorded live, this collector's edition of Priceless Comedy is a must for every Victor Borge fan. It's the incomparable Victor Borge in his best love, most heartwarming comedy performance of all time. The best of Victor Borge on VHS is only $19.95 plus $3.95 postage and handling. To order your personal copy, you must act now.
We now return to The Wing Will Fly on Discovery Sunday.
Jack set up the Avion Company in 1929 and built this almost flying wing. He got rid of the fuselage, but still needed the tail.
Well, Mr. Belandi, this plane is quite a little different than those you've been used to flying. Wings are all metal and plenty heavy enough and strong enough so that a person can walk all over them almost anywhere.
Very interesting.
All right, Eddie. Well, if you're all set, let's go.
Goodbye, Eddie.
Bye.
For its power, it was very efficient, and Jack was convinced he was on the right track. But he was in business to design airplanes that would sell.
The first real airplane we built in this new company in early 1930 was called the Northrop Alpha. And this was built completely wing fuselage and tail surfaces of this monocoque sheet metal structure.
The Alpha set a new standard in low-wing monoplane design and was the forerunner of the Douglas DC-3. In 1931, the Beta appeared, a 300-horsepower sports plane that could fly over 200 miles an hour. The Gamma of 1932 pioneered high-altitude stratosphere flying. In 1933, the Delta set new standards in executive transport. These innovative planes became legendary for their performance and strength.
In the early days, they flew just in the daytime in relatively good weather, but as they got some of the more rugged planes with the pilot well back, some of them were willing to fly these things. And we had a story, and I think it's true, about one of the early airmail pilots who was forced into a restricted field and had to ground loop the airplane very violently in order to keep from going into a barrier, a hill, or trees or something. And he bent the wing up at about 45 degrees. And they sent a crew out from Kansas City, where the plane was based, bent the wing down with some block and tackle, and flew it back in for a more permanent repair.
But Jack Northrup's success with these conventional designs and his new partnership with Donald Douglas kept him away from his private passion, the high-lift, low-drag flying wing. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, the cause of the flying wing was advancing. This English plane, the Pterodactyl, had swiveling wingtips. Across the Channel in Germany, Alexander Soldanov was making progress with a series of tailless designs. He'd been working on them through the 20s with growing success. Jack Northrop knew little of this flying wing work being done in Europe. In his head and in private, he was following his own path.
Well, Dad was demonstrating to me how stable these flying wings were, and we went into the den, he cut one out for me, and we started playing with it. I cut one out myself, and we used a wooden match and slit the end of it so that we could slide it onto the paper wing. These are very fragile because they're made out of relatively thin paper, so I don't know how well they would fly.
In 1938, Jack left his partnership with Donald Douglas. He took a year off to think and experiment. He wanted to start a new company where he'd have the freedom to develop the flying wing and show once and for all that his theories would really work in practice. But ideas, no matter how well thought out, were not enough. To take the wing past the model stage and bring it to life, Jack needed money, lots of it. And investors were hard to convince, especially about such a radical concept. Eventually, Jack was put in touch with Ted Coleman, who worked with an investment securities company. Jack went to a meeting to discuss financial possibilities.
And as soon as he walked in the room, you knew that this man, although he had a reputation of being a great engineer, in addition was a great salesman, because he put everybody at ease, and he was so natural and sincere and humble. It was an unusual combination. So he told us that he had not succeeded before when he tried to form his own business, because every time he did, one or two major shareholders decided when things got rough to sell him out to somebody else. And he said it happened too many times. And this time I wonder if you could sell stock in a new company, which I can man and organize with the help of Mr. Cohue, who is the businessman. Can you sell it to enough people so we don't have any large shareholders and people don't have so much invested that they're worrying about their investment? He said, I recognize it's a risk. Well, Lamont spoke up, and he said, gentlemen, he said, there's one thing about this. He said, the timing is right. He said, if you read the newspapers, you know that Hitler is rattling the sword.
Hitler was indeed rattling the sword. And about the time he began the invasion of Poland, things slowly began to come together for the new Northrop Aircraft Company. It was a struggle, and it wasn't helped by the prospect of war and an unpredictable economic future. But in September 1939, as Hitler's troops marched into Poland, back at Hawthorne,